Well, we're excited today to bring Dealer Authority to the Dealer Refresh reviews because we've been working together with them for how many years now?
8 years.
Wow. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
crazy.
And so for those of you who don't know, Dealer Authority is the official uh, marketing agency, I guess, probably the best term to throw at it. Although we don't look at it that way, but the official marketing agency of Dealer Refresh. And it's been a long time relationship. Tyson and I go back to dealer.com days, and Jess and I go back to, I don't know, long time. Her sister and I came up through the ranks together. So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. We've obviously partnered for a while and um, love what you guys do and love to be a part of it.
Well, how did Dealer Authority get started?
Wow, we got started over 12 years ago. So I worked for some of the larger companies in the automotive industry with like Reynolds and dealer.com where we met. And knew that there was an opportunity for digital marketing that was a little bit more custom for the individual dealership as opposed to the larger companies like I had worked with before. So just felt that there was a sort of a niche there. Never wanted to be a huge agency, but really just wanted to put the dealerships first. And we've been doing it. It's crazy how things have changed, but our core solutions like SEO, social, paid search are still extremely relevant even in 2026.
Yeah, Tyson, you say SEO, and I would argue that SEO is probably more important than ever right now because of AI.
Yeah. And we've added additional analytics to make sure that we're staying top of mind with AI because AI is having a huge effect on organic. Even things like automotive inventory ads, where in the past, if you did a really specific search, um, the keywords in the pages we built were really important for that. Now with AIAs, and you see ads for specific vehicles taking you directly into inventory, that affects organic as well. So, yeah, it's constantly changing. We're having to adapt our strategy, but yeah, it's by no means dead at this point. It's just constantly evolving and like you said, it's important than ever. Interesting, just for us, when we asked dealers how they heard about us when we get leads, I would say 70% of our leads are coming from AI overview section on searches. So it's like a trusted friend recommending services. People put um, a lot of stock into what they see in those sections.
Makes sense.
Most of the LLMs are scraping what ranks at the top of Google as well. So if you're not ranking, if you're not invested in SEO and you're not showing up in those traditional searches, then you're also not going to show up in the LLMs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you all are on the forefront of the changing technology space. It's a big reason why we partnered with you, years ago. But what else is there? We don't take full advantage of your entire product suite. We've got some different needs than a dealer does.
Sure.
Different budget, all sorts of things. It's been cool that you've been able to transition a dealer managed service slash product to our needs as a media platform at Dealer Refresh, and even my other company's needs as a vendor. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been cool to work with you guys in so many ways, and you're so adaptable. Are you that way with your dealers too?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it really is pretty easy for our team because we don't rinse and repeat our solutions. So our team is very, very used to when we do an onboarding call, when we do an internal call, that it's a completely different strategy, completely different solution than the last dealership that we signed up. And that's just how we've built our company. The team's used to being flexible and adaptable. And I think it helps to the average experience of our team is 12 years of digital marketing experience. So they understand they're not just technology driven, but they're true experts in digital marketing. So that I think really, really helps too. We've worked with vendors in the past as well, some of the biggest, vendors in our space. But car dealerships is really our main focus. It's always been our main focus as we have on here. We work with some truck dealers, boat, power sports, and things like that, transportation, and RVs and things of those natures. But car dealerships really has been our main focus.
Yeah, I feel like a good way to explain it is, we have set guidelines that we follow and we know that framework, but when it comes to the individual dealer, that's where we really customize and make it truly tailored to them. Because your market, your car dealer market in Indianapolis is not going to be the same thing as somewhere in West Texas. It's completely different identities, different markets.
Yeah, and we feel the big thing with us too is we try to fill the gaps in dealerships' digital marketing strategy. So they may have somebody at the dealership that loves posting. They do a great job with the images. The second they get a cool new vehicle that is on their lot, they're taking pictures or doing a video walk around for TikTok, which is amazing. So we're not going to take that away from them, but we will look at, okay, where are the areas that you're strong? Where are the areas that you're weak? And let's build a custom strategy based around that, as opposed to here's the package price and it comes with all of these things. So we really try to customize it to the individual dealership.
Yep. I hear that dealers are like snowflakes. No one is the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are a lot of differences between them. I mean, we try to highlight what makes them unique. That's what's interesting, especially about social, is some of the OEMs will use the same social vendor for all of their dealerships, which doesn't help highlight what makes them unique. I mean, if you ask a Chevy dealership, you're cool if they buy a Chevy from your store or your competition. Obviously, the answer is no. So why would you do the same advertising, the same posting as your local competitors? It just doesn't really make sense to me. I get the co-op part. That's usually the answer, is because of the dreaded co-op dollars. But there's other places you could put your co-op dollars and still differentiate yourself with some of your marketing.
Yep. And so you all do a pretty good job with reporting as well. It's always fun to receive the monthly report from Jess. So
I think yours in particular is pretty overwhelming, but I also know that you enjoy the data almost as much as I do. So
yes, we are nerds.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be customized a little bit too, but every dealership has a dealer advocate, which is an account manager. I think what makes us a little unique too is that the strategists that are working on your account all show up to the meeting. So if you have paid search with us, social, SEO, you might have 4 or 5 people from our team that are on your account management call. So it's not just the account manager, it's the whole team. And then once we get done with the call with the dealership, we do an internal call to talk about everything that was discussed. They might have a specific campaign they want to do. Do we have the right page to land them, or do we need to build a new page with our SEO team and then coordinate that with the social team and the paid search? So there's a lot of coordination, but one thing I always hear from dealers that they're impressed about is the fact that we really surround them with the team that actually is working on their account, as opposed to just maybe having an account manager on the call.
Yeah. So SEO, we hit on this one already. It's a big part of what you all do.
Search engine optimization is kind of a cornerstone of our solutions. I know dealers want to move quick. I know when they contact us, most of the time they want to get more leads, more sales immediately, but SEO is still a cornerstone solution that's really important to dealerships. There's a lot of, SEO's got thrown around a lot over the years, and I feel like, no offense to the website companies tend to, they're really good at building content on their platform, but other things like off-site links, which are really difficult for larger companies to scale at, I feel like is really where we separate ourselves from the competition.
Social media management, definitely another cornerstone of the Dealer Authority service set. So we handle both paid and organic social with Facebook, Instagram. We've even branched out into TikTok and Pinterest, Twitter/X posting as well. And I think the highlight is, of course, no syndicated content. Everything's gonna be unique and tailored to your dealership or to the dealer that we're working with. And then for our ads, we've got a couple different options there, but we try to either work with Facebook's algorithms to highlight your current inventory with automotive inventory ads and highlight the buyers that are actually in market shopping for what you actually have on the lot. Or we're able to leverage third-party data to find buyers that are actually, again, in market for the dealer's inventory that's there. So we're able to really hyper focus on the appropriate audiences for whoever we're working with.
That was, I think, the original draw for us to Dealer Authority was that third-party data and being able to target. It was really great on Facebook, and now LinkedIn is making that all possible too.
Yeah, and that's another aspect of social is being able to retarget and hit on your growing audience. But one of the best ways to actually expand that is to use that third-party data. So instead of just shooting barrel on a fish, not sure if it's the fish that you want, you've got super highly targeted ads.
Shooting a barrel and a fish, huh?
Did I say barrel and fish?
Yes.
That too.
I was wondering if that was some sort of like social media advertising misstep there. You were making.
Hey, that would help get lots of comments on the post. Mistakes always get good comments.
Add that to the blooper reel.
I would keep that in the whole video.
For us, pay-per-click, paid search, I think really for us, using technology as a tool, not a crutch, is really highlighted with paid search. So Shannon, she's been with our company, for 10 years now. She started doing paid search the year after Google started doing paid search. So I believe that was around 1999. She's doing paid search, and it's been automotive her entire career. So she is really the secret sauce behind our paid search. But it's interesting with paid search, and you get that a lot with SEO as well, where you can read a bunch of articles about best practices, a lot of times even from Google, and we test everything out and see, are these best practices really translate to our dealerships? And what we find is a lot of times the recommended things they tell you to turn on or turn off, like social, there's plenty of things that, like audience networks, that Facebook will always tell you to turn on. But what we look at is really optimizing campaigns so you get the lowest cost per click, the highest quality possible. So we do all different types of paid search campaigns that you can imagine. And one of the top ones that we have nowadays that we've been doing is the vehicle listing ads with Google. Is a huge component to get really, really low cost per click, high conversion rates. But we still believe that traditional search is a huge part of paid advertising as well.
What kind of results are you seeing with the Google vehicle listings?
Jess, you want to hit that?
It's a really heavy traffic driver. It goes straight to the VDPs. Conversion counts, depending on your market, can be really high as well. They do generally have the lowest cost per click, so oftentimes below $1, which is really hard to get for Google Ads these days. Depending on your intent for the campaign, maybe pushing $3, $4, $5 a click. So when you're able to mass display your vehicle inventory and get that many beyond just the actual clicks and leads through, but also the impression that you're constantly showing to your market in your area that, hey, like, we're a relevant dealer. So it's very, very effective.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Good.
And finally, so inventory everywhere is sort of the hot solution with dealer authority that a lot of dealers are reaching out, asking about today. Inventory everywhere is really a combination of paid search and social. It's really trying to put your first party leads, first party inventory everywhere. So on social media with AIAs, automotive inventory ads, and with Google with VLAs, we combine all of those into really helping dealers advertise their inventory across a broad network of channels. And it's the solution we came out with to help dealers that I know are struggling right now. A lot of dealers are calling us like, I just need to sell more cars. And it's like, okay, inventory everywhere is the first place to start, where we can advertise your inventory with VLAs and AAs across a broad network.
So what's really cool about this is that most of the platforms have ways to latch on to the intent of the shopper on each platform. AI is scary in that it knows everything about everyone pretty much all the time, but it really is very helpful in demonstrating and showcasing your inventory. It reaches people where they're already at. So when you're able to leverage this many different platforms, it's hard to be missed at that rate. So Facebook and TikTok in particular, and of course that Facebook, the whole metasphere, they have very data-driven algorithms that are that rival even third-party data. We're using it and we're testing it and measuring it against itself, and it's really powerful stuff. For TikTok, if it's a more rural community, it's really a great billboarding tool. Same with Pinterest. But if you actually are in a large metro area, it's also a lead driver as well. And what we've seen for Facebook, especially with placements in Marketplace, we're seeing 6 times the lead volume that we've ever seen for any other campaign on Meta. So it's the kind of thing that I don't like to get evangelical about digital marketing, but it's a kind of thing where if a dealer's not using it today, I can't even tell you how much they're missing out, like how much opportunity is being lost there. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, and the AIAs are good intro for especially solutions like TikTok and Pinterest, where a lot of dealers haven't really dabbled in it yet. It's a way to start advertising on there without creating a ton of video at the dealership level yourself and things like that. So it really are highly effective solutions.
Yeah, and they all drive traffic to the VDPs. The quality of the traffic is measurable via GA4, and it stands. What I find interesting about Pinterest traffic in particular is that it seems to be shoppers that jump over from that platform are way more in the research phase. So you're getting them a bit earlier on. They tend to spend more time on site versus with TikTok or Meta. they're hopping on. They might spend a little bit less time, but they're more likely to convert and take action. So, once you're pulling them in from these different platforms and you're able to retarget in other areas, you might find that Pinterest shopper that hopped over and was investigating what you had 2-3 weeks ago, came back when they clicked on a Facebook ad, and then they submitted a lead and then, bought the car 2 days later.
It also stands to reason those other sites have a little less attention span to them, especially TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah. Or you're looking at reels on Instagram. You got 3 seconds.
Right. 100%. 100%.
But Pinterest, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's been cool measuring all the different ways that these ads perform on the different platforms. And again, it's just very well rounded.
Cool.
Yeah. So like we were talking about earlier, the solutions are constantly changing, but we're always staying at the forefront. We're always looking at analytics of what's working, what's not, and making recommendations to our dealers. So we try, everything we do is month to month. So we try to keep it really flexible for the dealer that, we say the month to month contracts are good for them, and it's good for us because if we see things that are working or we need to make adjustments, we don't have to worry about recontracting and everything. We can just move to different areas and try different things. So our dealers, luckily, they love that about us. We're like, hey, let's try this out. Or we see this is getting ready. This type of campaign's getting ready to come out with Google. We'd love to try this out and test this. And you'd be one of the first dealers to do it. They eat that up.
Yeah, I think on the next slide, it just highlights the fact that these are, again, VDP specific, automatically updates. So there's not much that the dealer has to do besides, sign the contract and we get things rolling. Transparent reporting, one low monthly price. And that's something, there is budget that's included or that has to be included when making these plans. And so we're able to mix and match the different platforms based off of what the dealer is comfortable, spending to deliver these ads. So, the full Mac Daddy selection of platforms might not be the right solution for everyone, but you can kind of pick and choose and, build your own bundle, if you will.
Yeah. And if we do make recommendations for increasing budget, maybe the budget the dealer currently has isn't getting them through the whole day, then we make a recommendation to increase it. I think the positive to working with us is that we don't take a percentage. So if we make a recommendation, hey, we recommend you increase your social budget or your paid search budget by $1,000 a month, we're not taking a percentage of that. That $1,000 is complete pass through onto the platform we're going to do the advertising.
Most agencies don't do that. They usually take that percentage.
They do. So, I've had many discussions with dealers that would say, "Oh, well, I just have a small management fee." I'm like, trust me, you need to. And a lot of times, vendors really don't want to tell you what the percentage is, but when you, we had one dealer that put quite a bit of extra money behind a budget in a month, and they actually spent less money on advertising on that month because they said, well, it was because we had to add additional graphics and things like that, so we had to take a higher percentage. So them increasing their budget, actually they spent less money than they did the month before. I think that was about the last straw to get them to sign up with us.
I just took a big note here for when we put this up in the forums to point out in the forum thread, no percentage taken. You guys should lead with that. That's a huge selling point.
Yeah, we do flat rate for everything. It's just the way we've always done business. I think something that's also extremely unique with our company is we haven't in the 12 plus years we've been in business, we've never done a price increase on our clients ever on products. So and we have quite a few clients that have been with us for 12 years, and they're still paying the exact same price as they were 12 years ago for the solutions that they signed up with us.
Wow.
Yeah, that's saying a lot in this day and age.
Yeah. It's just the way, we've always done business. I always say we try to make it as easy as possible to work with us. And just coming from a background where I was in sales in the past, I always knew the tough parts were setup fees and long-term contracts and price increases and things like that. So we try to eliminate as many barriers as possible to working with us.
Nice.
Well, we appreciate you guys and your relationship over the years. It's been a lot of fun, and working on the vendor side is always fun for us too, because like you said, we get to dabble a little bit more in LinkedIn in some areas with different third-party data that we don't as much with working with dealerships. So we enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, are you taking more vendors on as clients?
We're always open to it. We usually have a couple vendors at a time we work with. We work with a couple vendors outside of automotive too, just from personal relationships that we have that we've worked with. So the adoption agency that I adopted my son, we do work with them in Ohio here, and have seen huge growth, especially with their SEO. They don't have large budgets and things like that, but from an organic standpoint, it's dramatically increased since we started working with them. They work just in the state of Ohio, but it's been pretty neat to see their growth. But yeah, we work with a few other vendors, but the core of our business is mostly working with dealerships.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we've definitely got some points to highlight here.
Cool.
And look forward to letting the world know more about Dealer Authority.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Is it just dealerauthority.com?
Yeah, you got it.
Easy enough.